one of the big themes a lot of games are having, I'm sure a lot of us have noticed, is apocalypse theme. Or especially zombie apocalypse. That's one of the bigger ones, obviously. Mm-hmm. But there's plenty of like the long, what do you call it, dark, and like there's a whole bunch out there that are all like post-apocalyptic. The world has ended, and now you have to survive. Worlds.
Yeah.
Okay. So the big question is why so many? Why do these games get such a high rating?
Because they're prepping us.
Prepping us.
Oh, the apocalypse?
Yes.
I can tell you exactly why these games keep getting high ratings, but you guys won't believe me.
Well, no,
I don't believe you.
The article I have is more or less the psychological of why are people being drawn to them. Of what's in our
Well, wait, you said ratings. If you're talking about drawn to them, that's a different story. But if you're talking about straight up ratings and reviews, like The Walking Dead and Apocalypse stuff is hot now.
Oh.
So you're either going to have a bunch of reviewers who are biasly rating it high to get hits, or you're going to have people rating it real low to get hits. And nobody's really being honest with their opinions about what they think.
Yeah,
this is why like every indie game seems to get a really high score. You can't tell me every indie game that comes out is good. There's got to be some bad ones.
Well, no.
Yeah, everywhere I go, they're all praised to high heaven.
Yeah, no, we're not talking about the ratings and stuff like that. We're talking about the sheer number of people that are leaving comments and talking about it in social media that are clearly playing these games. Why there's such a drawn to playing these type of games. This is more along the study of like the psyche, what's going on in our heads to make us want to play an apocalyptic style game. So
well, I think half of it has to do with people just signaling on social media, because if they signal as part of the group, they feel accepted and they get into it.
Well,
I would expect a chunk of people retweeting Battleground stuff don't even play it.
No, that's more lines delving down a conspiracy theory, but we're going to go by the straight psyche.
No, that's not a conspiracy theory. People are like that, dude.
Anyway, so the whole idea of zombie apocalypse, the apocalypse, okay, so a little known fact, every single generation has thought that was when the end of the world was going to happen, is during their generation. Mm-hmm. Okay, and every single time this has happened, it's never happened, obviously. We're still here.
Yeah, for me it was 2012.
Yeah, well, yeah, before that it was 95, and then there was 86. There's a number of them. There was just like a few years ago, that guy said it was October. Like, it happens over and over and over again. And I was listening to other podcasts about this, because I listen to a lot of psychological podcasts about the study of the psyche and whatnot. And it seems like a lot of people, the reason why, what I found out, and you guys can give your opinion after I've made my statement, is that people like the idea of they can wake up that morning and, oh wow, the world's ended. Well, the world kind of sucks, but I don't have to go to work and I don't have to worry about my responsibilities. And that's what they found out when they asked a lot of people under like psychological discussion. What they came to is that the fact that they like the fact of all their responsibilities are now gone.
I don't know. I can't really per se that would be my thought.
Well, no, I know that's not your thought, but I'm saying the majority of people they've asked.
I think the reason why people play these things is to get out of their own reality. It's like, I know when I go on to, say, Walking Dead game, or if I watch The Walking Dead, or I play anything apocalypse oriented like Resident Evil, like just the thought of, like, I can go out and kill zombies and not get in trouble on a game, instead of going out in the real world going like, you're next. Like, I'm going to feel happy that I did it in a game, because I'm taking out my frustrations out on that zombie with my AK-47.
All right, so we're going to drill that a little deeper. The question then, because you can choose plenty of games to go and kill random fictional characters, why choose apocalyptic world where everything's destroyed?
Because it's a hero complex.
And civilization's gone.
Right. It's not hard to figure out. It's a hero complex. Everybody...
It doesn't have to be the end of the world to be a hero.
I kind of...
No. What I mean is everybody in America is raised nowadays to believe that they're special and that they are capable of doing anything. What better setting to believe that you can survive that whole I don't have any responsibilities? It's a bunch of bullcrap. They think that they can go into the zombie world and just survive. They're all going to survive. They think they're going to be king shit. They all think they're going to be Rick.
The first one's dead.
They all think they're going to be Rick. My friends are stupid. I'll be fine. I do this. I do that. I'll live. I'll survive. I'll be king of the heap. And that's why they want to be in this fantasy world, and why they believe that if the zombie apocalypse comes, they'll be fine. When in reality, 95% of these weaklings will die in the first day.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, you're very right.
It's like I'll be a pro at zombie apocalypse because I watch all the movies.
Well, I would never say I'm a pro. Believe me, as in a game, I'm like, yeah, I can play Resident Evil, no problem. But in real life experience, your adrenaline's pumping, and your mind's going 10 different ways, and you're not going to be able to react the same way you would do in a game. So in real
when
life
shit hits
experience,
the
you
fan,
won't.
people panic.
But yeah, why do this the apocalypse games over other games where you can shoot out people like in Call of Duty? Well, I just think it's because you feel a bit stronger because some of these characters in these games are weaker and you can kill them quicker. Unlike in other games where you have to be strategic in how you go about doing stuff like that.
And
Not really.
You respawn.
You
Yeah.
respawn, but not so much real. But like, there's plenty of games I can think of you can play. Just go and do that. But like, I can say for myself, I really step back at my own self and like playing like 7 Days to Die because it's the one game I can think of that's a post-apocalyptic that I've played quite a bit of a zombie apocalypse happening. And the reason why I play it, it's really neat, especially when I've gotten into playing it like really in depth for days with like mugs. Mm-hmm. It's like you're part of a group starting society over, and you get your niche at doing certain things that you're good at, like, and it has a calmness to it. It's almost very meditative.
I'm never calm playing that game. I'm always, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. Oh, here they come. Here they come. Here they come. I'm hiding in this little hole that I made. See you guys later. Ah! Zombie just crawled into the room. Ah!
I don't know. For me, playing Divinity, I'm like, oh, cool.
I feel no calmness.
I'm going to build this giant, cool fort. Like, there's nobody around. I can take apart that building over there, use its parts, and every once in a while, a zombie's going to show up. I'll kill it. I'll take whatever it has on it. I'll add it to my complex. I'll, like...
To kind of add to this, and maybe they can do a study on this one, too. Like, I'm not thinking about it. Why they play Zombie Apocalypse? Why people play, like, MMA games or wrestling games? Because it's funner to get into fighting a game than real life.
Oh, okay, of course.
I don't want black eyes
Yeah.
and broken noses, please.
But this is more aligned just the study of, like, why does this theme attract people so easily?
I don't know, but I have to play the next Resident Evil. I have to play. It makes you. I have no words to describe it. I'm eager to see like what could and what you do in return.
And okay, and what you gotta think about some of the bigger blockbusters ever are all post-apocalyptic movies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why does our psyche get drawn to it so easily? Why?
That's not necessarily true because I can tell you right now that people are drawn to fantasy just as much. It just depends on the time period of people you ask. I mean, the biggest show on TV is Game of Thrones. People are drawn to the fantasy world of Game of Thrones. The idea that people are just drawn to post-apocalypse it's bullcrap. There are multiple things that people are drawn to. This just happens to be the thing now, probably because the hot things are these these survival shooters that kind of feel like Battlegrounds isn't post-apocalyptic. Kind of feels like it a little bit.
A little bit.
Like you're being dropped into a wasteland of death. Mad Max wasn't too long ago. That was a big hit. There's been other movies that are post-apocalyptic recently.
Terminator.
That's why it's on people's minds, but it won't. It's not the only thing.
Well, what I was really hinting at is whether you guys agree with me or not. It doesn't one way or the other. Is the whole idea that we know from like the last 2,000 years, every generation thought the apocalypse was going to be in their generation. Is it hinting at something that's already embedded in our psyche from past generations? That's now being expressed instead of it like just being a thought and written down. It's being expressed through art.
I think it could be. Then you put it like that.
No, it's just fear of death.
Well, yeah, of course it's the fear of death, but
that's what all this stuff comes from is a fear of death.
Or maybe they just think that the thought of peace and happiness is boring.
Oh my God, you read me like a damn book.
Or
it's also, if you really want to go to the dark side of it, it's power. It's simple as that. It's power. If you are in a post-apocalyptic place and you are the king shit, you have power. You can do whatever the hell you want. No one can tell you what you can and cannot do.
Yeah,
that appeals to people. People will pretend like you get these liberal people and they'll be like, oh, post-apocalyptic, we'd be this peaceful community. Yeah, you would, but that dude next to you, the alpha in your group, would be telling you what to do, and you would shut up and listen, or he'd break you in half.
Yeah.
And then he would do whatever the hell he wants because he's the powerful one, and unless you got together and stopped him, it's like the Negan effect.
I am Negan.
Rick's group in The Walking Dead is the peaceful group, and you look at it like, oh, they all work together. They all follow Rick because not technically because they fear him, but because they know he'll get shit done.
Well,
yeah.
Well,
they won't follow the weaklings because they know the weaklings won't get shit done.
To rebuttal that your comment that Rick's group is a peaceful group, they were the peaceful group. I don't think after say, I would say the governor, they stopped being the peaceful group. Then they started being the moderately peaceful group.
Yeah.
They've never initiated contact without someone telling them of the situation.
Yeah, that's true.
That makes them the neutral group. They're not going out and looking to kill people. If you cross their path and you mess with them, they'll kill you. They are willing to do what needs to be done.
I know we're off topic, but I'll say right up front, I don't think Rick's group is a peaceful group. I think the Kingdom is a peaceful group, and Rick's group has now become no longer peaceful.
Well,
But if you want to, you bring the Kingdom up. Remember this though: they may be the peaceful, completely peaceful, but that's not a leader you want. Because they are too weak, and that other group keeps walking over them, and eventually will crush them because they bend over backwards all the time.
yes.
Yeah, but he also is unwilling to fight back and stand up to them.
I don't care. He has a tiger.
It doesn't matter. They basically own
It's
him.
a fluffy
That's what I'm saying.
tiger.
Like,
Come on.
Like
Listen.
the reason why people follow Rick is because nobody owns Rick. If you push him, he'll push back. If you push the guy who runs the kingdom, he will not push back until the very last minute.
Yeah.
And bad things happen that way.
All I'm going to say is...
He's the ideal leader, but he's not a good leader.
All I'm going to say is he has a tiger.
Yeah.
That's it.
No, but like Grim does have a point. Like, but sometimes there's conflict. Like, sometimes leaders that are alphas go too far, like Shane.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Well, no, Shane wasn't an alpha. Shane was a psychopath. There's a difference.
Yeah.
But you have to also understand too is that a pacifist never makes a good leader. They are good advisors because they help control the leader. But you need a leader who's willing to do what needs to be done when the time comes.
But could a pacifist become a good leader?
If they're willing to do what needs to be done. And if
Yeah.
you're a true pacifist, you'll never be willing. You'll watch your people get killed, and the only thing you'll do is go, take me instead. Then they'll kill you, and then they'll kill the rest of your people. You have to have someone willing to do what needs to be done, which is why you have a pacifist telling you what to do.
Yeah.
It's like, think King Arthur. You know, in the stories, he had Merlin. Merlin tells him advises him on the intelligent things to do, and Arthur does what needs to be done when the time comes.
He has a tiger.
That's exactly. Yeah. So.
Which is awesome.
So that's the deep psyche of us in this crazy generation of the post-apocalyptic world. And I can just say for myself, like, it's probably something in the back of our minds of impending doom that we think could happen, but it's never going to come. But we have to express it some way.
Yeah.
Well, that's a bald-faced lie about it never coming. With the armaments growing, it's clearly
Okay, well.
possible. And then with the way what do you call it, the way what the hell is it?
Roseanne?
Global warming. The way global warming is melting the planet. The way that is melting the planet, like doom is not going to come from like a giant war or an invasion like all these fantasies. It's going to come from us slowly killing
Yeah,
ourselves
it's
on the
gonna
planet.
be a slow death.
Yeah.
Yeah.